Children that lived in the Soviet Union during World War II actually had a big role. They joined the Soviet Russian army. With the emergency created by the German invasion, exceptions were made. Soldiers in the Red Army began moving west and came across abandoned and orphaned children. They sometimes found children in the villages destroyed by the retreating Germans. These children were supposed to be sent to orphanages set up throughout the Soviet Union. Here you see 4 young kids in the Soviet Union Army, or the Red Army. During World War II, jobs were very scarce besides the Army Company. The Army Company, or the Army manufacturers, produced Army materials such as tanks, guns, airplanes, etc. Here you see a Soviet aircraft manufacturer in 1942.
Women were unique among others in the European Union because they participated largely as soldiers in the war. The women and men of Russia had equality in the workforce as well. Although there was equality, many workplaces preferred hiring men over women, or vice versa. For example, women were commonly hired as construction workers because they were viewed as more on task than men were. Women often got twice the work as a result of domestic work. Women were viewed as more fit for the job and were expected to do so, making life harder. The photograph shown is 2 Russian women fighting in the war. Population decreasement in the Soviet Union includes many things such as deportations of the non-Russian population, also called enemies of workers, deportations of entire nationalities, and organized migrations in opposite directions to fill the ethnically non-diverse territories. The photograph shown above is Polish men and women being deported off to different countries.
The government implemented rationing in 1941 and first applied it to bread, flour, cereal, pasta, butter, margarine, vegetable oil, meat, fish, sugar, and confectionery all across the country. This is food from the Soviet Union in World War II from Joseph Stalin's cookbook. Agriculture production in the Soviet Union was mostly introduced in the early Soviet period, despite the degree land that immediately followed the October Revolution. The real number, however, were treated as state secrets at the time to accurate allies of the sacred performance was limited outside the USSR. Agriculture production in the Soviet Union was mostly collectivized with some limit cultivation of private plots